They were Europe's most feared soldiers, trained from boyhood, loyal by law, unstoppable in battle. But in 1622, these same men dragged a sultan from his palace and strangled him in the heart of Istanbul. This is a story of the Janissaries, and the moment the weapon became the master. The Janissaries began as a revolutionary institution, Christian boys taken through the Devshirme system, converted to Islam, and trained as an elite, disciplined, standing army loyal directly to the Sultan. For 2 centuries, they were the backbone of Ottoman expansion-skilled musketeers, disciplined infantry, and a symbol of absolute state power. Contemporary chronicles describe how this system of levian training created a professional infantry whose sole purpose was to serve the throne. But over Chimi, the Janissaries evolved. They gained privileges, land grants, generous stipends, and immense social influence within the capital. They lived in barracks, but also married into urban life, becoming a powerful, guild-like network of brokers. When the state stumbled due to bad military campaigns, unpaid wages, or court intrigues, the Janissaries could make or break sultans their loyalty. Once absolute proved conditional, their military muscle translated directly into political power. As contemporary diplomats noted, their influence became a constant factor in the capital's affairs. In 1604, Osman II was born. He ascended the throne as a young, ambitious man, determined to restore Ottoman prestige. He chafed at the rigid palace rituals and what he saw as the Janissaries' decadence and declining effectiveness. After a military campaign with mixed results, Osman believed the solution was structural. He planned to create a new army, recruited from the provinces, loyal to merit and modern tactics. It was a move that would directly challenge the Janissary monopoly on coercive power. Some historians read Osman's plans as reformist and forward-thinking. Others see them as dangerously naive, underestimating the deep roots of Janissary power. Several factors fed the looming crisis. Unpaid wages, military setbacks, and rising prices in the city created a tense atmosphere. But it was the idea of a new army under the Sultan's personal command that struck at the core of the Janissaries' identity. This wasn't just about lost pay or prestige. It was about the potential loss of their decisive political leverage, the very thing that made them more than just soldiers. In the winter of 1622, unrest finally erupted in Istanbul. The Janissaries and allied mobs marched on the imperial palace. They stormed the palace precincts and seized control of the government. In the chaos, Sultan Osman II was captured. Contemporary chroniclers describe a near-total breakdown of formal authority. As the palace, once considered impregnable, was penetrated by the very corps meant to defend it, Osman II's fate was sealed. In May 1622, he was killed. Accounts of the event vary in detail, but the political outcome was clear. A new, more pliable figure, Mustafa I, was installed on the throne while the Janissaries celebrated their victory. But this triumph came at a high cost. The state's central authority was severely weakened. Palace politics grew even more stagnant, and the army's role in governance became deeply entrenched. From 1622 onwards, the Janissary Corps increasingly intervened in matters of succession, urban policing, and even commerce. Their privileges grew, while their military discipline slipped. Any attempt at reform became nearly impossible. This cycle culminated 2 centuries later, in 1826, with Sultan Mahmud II's violent abolition of the Khorasan event known as the Auspicious Incident, when the Sultan finally used overwhelming force to break the Janissaries' power for good. The murder of Osman was a critical turning point, proof that a state whose army crowns kings risks being ruled by its own weapons. The Janissary episode raises a recurring question in political history. When military institutions become powerful stakeholders rather than servants of the state, can a stable government survive? Osman II's story is a tragedy of potential reformer undone by the very structure he sought to change. It is also a cautionary tale about the delicate balance between professional force and civilian authority, between privilege and accountability. So, who really governs? The rulers, or their protectors? History shows the answer can change the fate of empires. What do you think? Was Osman a reformer ahead of his time, or a naive ruler who underestimated the power he was facing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.